दर वेळा मडगांवा वता आसतना पोन्ने जुवारी पुला वयल्यान नव्या जुवारी पुलाच्या खांब्याचे फोटो काडप हो हालींसराक खूब जाणांचो छंद जावन पडला. केन्ना जातलो म्हणटा म्हणटा दोळ्या मुखार एक एक कुडको जोडीत शेवटाक तो पूल तयार जालो. कसो दिसता काय हो पूल लागसरल्यान? कांय दिसा सावन हीच उमळशीक लागिल्ली, केन्ना तरी पुलार वचपा जाय. बऱ्या नशिबान पुलार शूट करपाक परवानगी मेळ्ळी आनी आमी गेले बद्द नव्या जुवारी पुलाचेर. सध्या आमी एका अशा स्ट्रक्चराचेर उबे आसा जाचे कुतूहल पुराय भारताक आनी चड करून गोंयांक आसा. सध्या आमी उबे आसा पॅरलल जुवारी ब्रिजाचेर. हो भारतांतलो सगळ्यांत वायडेस्ट ब्रिज जावपाचो आसा. जेन्ना तो कंप्लीट जातलो तेन्ना हो भारतांतलो सगळ्यांत मोठो मेगा स्ट्रक्चर म्हणून जितले आमी कावंट करतात त्या कावंटिंगान येता. आनी ह्या ब्रिजा उपरांत दक्षिण आनी उत्तर गोंया मदले जे लिंक आसा जे सध्या हेवी व्हेकल्स वचूं शकना ते लिंक आनी स्ट्रॉंग जातले. हो ब्रिज कंस्ट्रक्ट करपा फाटल्यान कितले त्रास जाले आनी तातूंत कितें कितें गेलें हे जाणा जावन घेवपा खातीर आमी खास परमिशन घेवन आयिल्ले आसा आनी मेळटले दिलीप बिल्डकॉनचे वायस प्रेसिडेंट अतुल जोशी हांकां, जांणी वेळ काडलो. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर. सर, रायट नाव this can be termed as a mega structure of India. So, can you just in brief tell us what was your experience? I think when it started here, there was nothing. You started from a scratch.
Earlier we started with the soil investigation. So actually the problem we faced, that was in piling. I mean, the strata varied a lot at that time. At one end the rock was at 15 meters and at the other end up to 60 meters there was no rock. So during execution we had to stop the entire work for about 6 months, redesign everything, and then we started. So that was an experience. Then the volumes of the concrete, everything was so huge that a lot of precautions had to be taken. Right, example, the pile cap. I mean, it was about for 10,000 cubic meters. When you say 10,000 cubic meters, in terms of weight, if I talk, it is about 25,000 tons. So you can imagine pouring off this much of concrete and controlling the heat. That was a big challenge for us, but we devised a plan for that one. We installed sensors into that. A lot of methods that we use, that was putting a pipeline inside it, cooling it, continuously cooling concrete for 15 days. So we were able to manage that one without any cracks, without any, within the temperature limits.
You are from Madhya Pradesh. We are trying to know one thing. How come there is Madhya Pradesh and bridge, there is some similarity? There was also, I think, earlier the bridges were built by Madhya Pradesh Setu Nigam and all those kind of agencies.
In Madhya Pradesh, cable stay bridges are there, but they are very, very small. So not this kind of bridge, because the bigger bridge, major bridges constructed in India, one is in Calcutta, which is still the longest span bridge. This is number 2. Then of course your Sea Link Express, Sea Link in Bombay, that's the third one. Then one is in Allahabad, that's Naini Bridge. So bigger bridges are very less to construct, and of course at the time we came we had no experience of construction of this bridge. We had done number of bridges, but not this one, not this type of bridge.
Okay, so usually when someone tells that I'm working in Goa, they usually think they are here for fun. So when you were posted here on this project, what was the first impression that your family or friend had? Are you having fun?
Goa is of course some place where everybody from India and abroad, they want to come and have fun in Goa. So, but you are here for a job, not for the fun, you know.
You managed to get some time for fun?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes. Definitely being in Goa and don't see the Goa, but still I would say it's more than 6 years and I haven't seen all of Goa.
So for our viewers to understand, this is a 4-lane right now.
Yes.
Whatever we are standing right now is a 4-lane. That would be commissioned first.
Yes.
And then another 4-lane would be commissioned.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
total 8 lane.
Total 8
And
lanes.
this makes this structure as India's widest,
This is India's widest.
54 meters.
27, yes, 54 meters.
54 meters.
Yes.
First question anyone would like to know. Can a two-wheeler pass on this bridge? Can you allow a two-wheeler to pass on this bridge?
As per design, there are no restrictions for two-wheelers. Two-wheelers definitely can fly on this one.
Two-wheelers can fly on this.
Yes.
Because there is an issue of wind because of wind. you might
Wind
not.
velocity, maybe in monsoon there may be some problems, but as such, I mean, the designer has not raised any comments on this one.
The technicality of this bridge, sir, what tons of steel has gone into this bridge? What tons of cement has gone into this bridge? And how many people are working on this bridge on regular basis?
On the peak time, we had about 1,600 employees, but of course now the bridge is coming to an end, so about 300 employees are here presently working, excluding labours. On daily basis, labours is excluding. In-house staff is about 300 at present. So talk about steel, about 22,000 tons of steel have been used in this bridge. And we talk about the cables, about 1,500 tons of cables, OVM cables that we imported from China, that's been used.
This is cable stayed bridge.
This is a cable stayed bridge.
So why do you call this bridge as something different from rest of the bridges?
Because most, if you see other bridges, I mean, where the cable is not used, there is a limitation of the span. I mean, span is from one pier to the other pier, or one pillar to another pier. So if you see in the approaches that we had done is 50 meters. I mean, you see pier at every 50-meter interval. You see the existing bridge, it is 120 meters. That is called balance cantilever. The span is 120 meters. So it has a limitation of, regular concrete structure has a limitation of maximum 150 meters. Wherein cable stay bridge, you can go up to 1 kilometer. In suspension bridge, you can go up to 3 kilometers and beyond that also. So there is no limitation.
So there has been delay in completing this project. Can you just tell us about that? Because you're supposed to finish this in 2022. I think 2021 December. Then right now we are into 2022 and then going to be into 2023.
The delay is basically because of the COVID, because our designer, our proof check consultant, the experts which were supposed to come, they were from China and Europe. But because of the COVID, they couldn't come. Later on, we couldn't get any visa. Still, the visa is not available for the Chinese. They cannot come. So that's why then we have to switch over to Indian designers. It was because they hadn't done anything right from the scratch. So that took time.
So when we speak about any structure right now, we speak about made in India structure. So is this made in India structure or half made in India structure or what is it?
You can say except for the, of course, the designers were, the original designers is from Europe, and then proof consultant is from China. But later on, the Indian designers took over, and I'm happy to say they have done a great job in this one. Except for material, all the construction, all the things are made in India only.
So this is made in India bridge.
Yes, you can say that.
So when is this ready for commissioning right now?
Almost ready, you can see. I mean, you can check for yourself. It's almost ready for commissioning. A few things are balanced, like installation of crash barrier. Then the main thing is the load test. Once everything is ready, we'll do the load test, and after load test, it can be open to traffic.
So there has been apprehension that if there is a traffic jam, then the entire load will come on this bridge. If there is some accident at one point of the bridge, so is this bridge built to take that?
Absolutely. The load test we are doing is almost 1,000 tons. In fact, it's little over 1,000 tons. So 1,000 tons, any number of vehicles, any number of trucks can stand on this one without any issue.
So if bumper to bumper traffic is there on this
Absolutely
bridge?
No problem with that one.
Absolutely no problem. Usually there are casualties when such huge constructions happen. Was there any casualty during your construction time?
Fortunately, on this bridge, only some minor incidents happened, but no casualty.
No casualty. Safety standards.
Safety standards, thanks to God.
Thanks to God. Also, the monsoon was prevailing for a longer time. Was it also affecting you?
Yeah, monsoon definitely affected a lot, because Goa, last year in 21, almost every month it rained. So that affected. This year also, the heavy monsoon was here. So when the monsoon is there, you cannot work, you cannot go on the top. I have a limitation. You see the tower crane up there. So if the wind velocity is more, not even monsoon, but if the wind velocity is more, you have to stop all the operations. You cannot work.
Okay, when can we expect the next bridge to be, next 4 lanes to be completed?
So hopefully by the next year, April or May, we'll complete that one.
You are associated with this project right from day one.
Yes.
What was the most difficult point for you that came by construction of this?
That is basically the stage by stage analysis. That is, when you are installing the cables, it has a profile, because it is not like ordinary bridges where you keep just one profile and keep on continuously, you can do that. So it is constructed in this way. When the load comes, it settles down. There's a lot of movement also there. So each and every cable there is a movement, because as per design, as per site conditions are totally different. So based on site condition, the forces has to be adjusted. And since the Chinese designer was not here at that time, it became very, very difficult for us to control the geometry of the bridge. So that was the most difficult part. That's why it got delayed also.
So finally, Indian designers.
The final design, they have done it, and I'm happy to say that at least now all the Indian designers are into construction of these type of bridges. So hopefully the next bridge, Indian designers, all Indian, 100% made in India.
So you, in your personal career, how would you rate construction of this bridge?
This is
Most difficult task, easy task.
Cable stay bridge are always a complex bridge. I mean, it's not easy to construct. That's why in earlier days also there were very less bridges. These type of bridges have been constructed, and only now, of course, a lot of bridges are coming up. But this is one of the most complex bridges in the world.
So we can
Still
call
to
you
construct.
bridge man of India right now.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. So also people are wondering what speed you can travel on this bridge. Means allowed speed. People of course will overspeed, do all kind of things. But what speed can you travel on this?
So the design speed, when you say it is about 100 kilometers an hour, but because since both the traffic would be plying on this one, there would be a speed restriction. But that is something which is being discussed with the traffic police also, so that the accident doesn't happen.
Are there inbuilt speed restrictions on this bridge, or you have to control your own senses and
No, that would be there.
inbuilt? What would be the speed restriction?
So that's being discussed with the traffic police. And
Naturally,
all.
there won't be rumblers on this bridge.
No, not the rumblers. Rumblers will not be there.
But other kind of.
Other kind of things would be there. Restriction boards would be there. So maybe police may install, speed cameras on this one. So anybody speeding more than that, they may fine. But that's all
That's
under
like
discussion.
law enforcement restrictions,
enforcement
not
restrictions.
structural restrictions.
No structural restrictions.
Okay, so for next 8 years, you'll be maintaining this bridge. What are your apprehensions after this is completed?
We don't have any apprehensions as such.
No apprehensions.
No apprehensions whatsoever.
So after 8 years, you will hand this over to the union government.
Certainly.
Okay, so now when we talk about this labor force, we usually see the bridges. We never see the people who actually toil to make such kind of bridges. Can you just tell us more details, like from where you get this labor force, and are these experienced people? Have they worked in any other structures, or this is their first experience?
See, labor force is something that keeps on changing. So basically, the people, major problem in this one was because of the height. Because not every person can go 100 meters and work over there. That's a lot of height fear is there. So the labor was definitely very difficult to arrange, but they are experienced people. They have done these type of works earlier. So we managed to get them on the bridge.
So what happens to these laborers after this project is completed? Are you working on some other?
Labor, basically we have labor contractors. So the labor contractors, they may have, we have number of other projects also. So we may transfer them to other projects, or the contractor may find jobs in other agency.
So what is your next assignment after this bridge?
No, we are actually, in fact, we are doing about 3 bridges of this kind. I mean, this definitely is the biggest one. This is a full-fledged cable stay bridge. Then one project we are doing in Karnataka, that's on Shiravati River. That's 2.1 kilometers. That's an extra dose bridge. And one we are doing in Sahibganj, that is on Ganga River. That's a border of Jharkhand and Bihar. So there we have a 6 kilometers long extra dose bridge. So,
Whenever bridges are completed, we have seen with Atal Setu, the common complaint is that the road, there are potholes on the bridge, then people meet with an accident because of the potholes. Will this be pothole-free bridge?
Yeah, definitely hope so. We have a lot of precautions we have taken. Special grade of bitumen we have used for this one. Let's call it as a polymer modified bitumen. So in this, it's not an ordinary bitumen. We have, the polymer balls are melted and mixed into the bitumen. So it makes it hard, makes it flexible. The water cannot penetrate through that one. So because most of the potholes comes because of either there is a bonding problem or the water penetrates through it. So precautions we have taken.
So this would be the pothole-free bridge.
Absolutely.
And we can travel at 100 speed.
At 100 speed, when both the bridges are open.
When both the bridges are open. 2016 was the work started.
2016, yes, the work was awarded to us. Then we went into design stage. Actual work started in 2017.
There was a phase when entire country was locked down.
Yes.
And what was happening at that time on this bridge?
The restrictions were there. No labor was allowed. All the labor had gone back. So the work had came to complete standstill. I mean, there was no work except few manpower were here. A lot of people, COVID affected everywhere. It was a very severe condition at that time.
So was there a point when you thought ki now we have to give it up, like there's going to be a longer lockdown, COVID will be prevailing, and then what will happen to the project? Was it your worry when you were sitting at home? And
No,
doing
that
lockdown?
was not a worry because we were, monitoring the situation very closely. In other many places, the government had in other states, the government had given the permission also to carry out the work. So, but here, of course, for 1 month, nothing was done. But the main problem was all the labor, all the manpower, they had gone away. To get them back was a was very difficult. So for the laborers, in fact, we had offered them flight tickets. I mean, we booked the charter flight, we bought the laborers through flight.
You were
Because the trains,
chartered flight.
Yeah, because the trains were not working, the trains were off, the buses were off. I mean, by road coming from UP, from Bihar, I mean, it was very difficult. So there was no other option.
So they were flown.
They were flown, yes.
This must be the first time in the history of any bridge construction.
The work has to go on.
Okay, so when lockdown was over, then the things started moving on smoothly.
Yes.
But again, when you're missing your deadlines,
But even after that, the factories were closed. The supply chain was not there. So I mean, though the lockdown was for 1 month, but it had long-term effect on us.
so how many months did you lose for this COVID?
So just because of the COVID, if you say direct impact for this one, but indirect impact, like as I said, the designers were not able to come. Still today, they are not able to come. But first because of the COVID, now because of the Indo-China standoff.
Visa
So,
restrictions.
Visa restrictions, yes. And even flights also, connectivity is also, I mean, not very good from China currently.
We have seen one unfortunate accident happening there, wherein one vehicle plunged into water. How do you stop such kind of things happening on this structure, especially when we are talking about 100 km per hour speed?
We are installing here very heavy duty steel crash barriers. So that is the first layer of crash barrier. Then there is a railing. Then outside is also a railing. So basically there are 3 layers of to stop any vehicle hitting that one. So we earlier, I mean, as per the design also earlier it was concrete crash barrier, but due to wind and because of the side-by-side bridges, I mean, a test is done that is called wind tunnel test. So in wind tunnel test, they advised us not to go with the concrete crash barriers. They wanted air to pass. So that's why we designed it with steel crash barriers, but very heavy.
They are strong enough
They're
to
strong enough to sustain any vehicle.
with 100
With impact,
kilometers.
yes. With impact, yes. It's already been tested. Impact crash barriers, steel crash barriers are tested, and based on that design only, we have adopted.
Which is the last thing that you do and say, okay, fine, from now onwards this bridge is open for
That's the load test. The final thing would be the load test on this bridge.
load test.
As I said, about 1,000 tons of load we'll put on the bridge. We'll monitor it for 3-4 days, and then everything is okay. Then everyone will certify that.
How do you put that load of 1,000 tons?
That is basically, I mean, we have trucks. So 35 tons of load on one truck, and 32 numbers are there.
So 32 trucks with 35 tons of load would be standing on this bridge for
Yes.
3 days.
That's basically a sequence. I mean, initially they are empty, then you do 25%, then 50%, then 75%, then 100% load. So there is a sequence of that one.
Then
given
only
by
it
the
is
designer.
certified that the bridge is.
And you see how much is the deflection in that one, how much is the bounce back. So based on those calculations, it is certified.
Sidewards there would be footpaths,
Yes, both side footpaths are there.
but no stopping on the bridge.
There is no stopping, no slowing down,
No slowing down, no stopping, no overtaking.
no overtaking.
Same that of old bridge.
Same that overtaking because presently, I mean, it's a you're applying both the traffics on one bridge, so some restriction has to be there.
Okay.
Once both the bridges open, there won't be any restriction.
No stopping, no slowing, no overtaking.
Yes.
You can take pictures later on afterwards.
Yeah, because
Don't-
it's a scenic point. I mean, people would stop, park their car over here. They would take selfies, and so that something which will ask for accidents.
That's prohibited.
That's
Strictly
that would be prohibited. Yes.
There was also a proposal for weaving gallery or a tower for that. Is it happening right now?
So the tower, actually the tower is not part of our contract. We were just asked to leave the provisions for the tower in the foundation. So that we have left.
Is there any
I can
space?
show you that, yes. Exactly where our tower train is standing, this would be the location of the tower.
How will people reach there?
The lifts would be there.
Okay.
And there would be a walkway supposed to be constructed from the ground. Up to here the walkway will be constructed. And over the walkway there would be lift on the ground. People can go directly to top.
Okay, so they have to park the vehicle there,
Yeah.
walk like this,
Yes, walk like this, then take the lift.
take the lift and
Go up.
go up. What is the height of the tower?
The height, pylon height is 100 meters. The tower, I think it should be around 125 meters.
125 meters. तर ही आशिल्ली पासय जुवारी पुलाचेर, पॅरलल जुवारी पुलाचेर. ह्याच गजाली खातीर आमी हांगा आयले की ह्या पुला उपरांत दक्षिण आनी उत्तर गोंयचे जी कनेक्टिविटी आसा ती बरी जातली. कितलेशेच लोक जे ॲम्ब्युलन्सान वाटेर सफर करता, इनफॅक्ट तांकां त्रास जाता कारण हांगा ट्रॅफिक जॅम जाता, खास करून डिसेंबरान तांकां ट्रॅफिक जॅम फेस करचो पडचो ना. आनी तुमकां दाखोवपा जाय आशिल्लें की हो पूल बांदपा फाटल्यान कितले कश्ट गेले, कितल्या लोकांनी हांगा मेहनत केली आनी ताका लागून भारतांतलो सगळ्यांत वायडेस्ट ब्रिज जेन्ना पूर्ण जातलो तेन्ना तो आमच्या गोंयांत आसतलो. सो तुमी पळयतात पासय